Everyone can see the video? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The
This is
audio
a
can't be
video
heard.
over,
Yes, sir.
yes, this is a video over Pompeii, which is situated in Italy. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site right now. I think all of you heard about the city, the untold history of Pompeii. Just see the video. The mountain range in background, you can see here, that is basically the great mountain of Vesuvius. The volcano Vesuvius, that is basically the mountain range of Vesuvius. Okay, so have you enjoyed the video? Hello, everyone. Everyone have see the video? Everyone have seen the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is
Yes, sir.
just yes. Okay. So this is a video on Pompeii. Pompeii, Herculean. These two cities are basically a twin city. Before it is a story before, not story. It is an incident before say 2000, more than 2000 years ago, before Christ. Okay, and these two cities these two cities were the most glorious and most what can I say, most sophisticated and posh cities in Rome on that time. So sometimes in English there is a term or there is a phrase, that is called Pompeii's glory. Pompeii's glory means a glorious like Pompeii. So you can understand how much glorious was Pompeii on that time. You can understand that Pompeii was basically a very well known for its environment and for its healthy nature, healthy environmental nature. So most of the rich persons in Rome build up their what can I say, build up their castles in Pompeii to spend their relaxed time over here. So that's why it was very much posh and very much glorious town in Rome on that time. But one of a sudden, at night, Mount Vesuvius, it was a dormant volcano for 1000 years. It was cooled down, but once upon a time, and one of a fine morning, that is in night, this Vesuvius has been erupted, and this eruption goes for more than a week, and ultimately the total city, Pompeii and Herculean, these two cities, has been covered up with magma, lava, and the ashes coming out from Vesuvius. Okay, and the total city has been fossiled. The total city has been fossiled with that high temperature lava and magma and the layer of ashes. So after 2000 years or 1500 years, when archaeologists dug up this site and excavated this Pompeii and Herculean, they have found all the apartments, all the architecture, most of the apartments, most of the architectures, most of the structures, even the dead human body with their utensils and their daily commodities. The archaeologists have found all of these things intact. The human bodies they have found, which has been fossilized or crystallized with high temperature of lava and magma. It has been, the total body has been crystallized in a same shape. So they have found their body with an effect, just with an effect of what they are doing in their last moment. They can idealize this thing also. Okay, in one house they have found a room. It's supposed to be a dining room where 5 members of that family sat over there for completing their dinner, but they can't complete it. All the 5 members have been died during the poisonous gas coming out from the volcanic eruption, and then their body with their food dishes also has been covered up with high temperature lava and magma. And when the archaeologist has been excavated this Pompeii and Herculean out, they have found out all of these bodies in their intact shape and their intact position. Okay, so that is the brief history of Pompeii. But what is the relation between this Pompeii and today's class? I am explaining this. When the archaeologists have find out or dug out this Pompeii and Herculean, these two towns, they have found out one inscription. They have found out one inscription in the wall on the wall of one of the apartment of Pompeii. On the wall of one of the big apartment in Pompeii, they have found out one inscription. That inscription says, Marcus wants to assassinate Caesar. Marcus wants to assassinate Caesar. They have found out this inscription with some red type color. With some red type color, this inscription has been written over the wall of an apartment in Pompeii. After excavation, the archaeologists found this inscription, and this inscription, they have researched lots of things with this inscription, and ultimately they have concluded to this thing that Marcus was some person over there in Pompeii, and maybe on that time the Roman emperor was very much cruel, and they have tortured the normal poor people in a great way. Okay, so Marcus may be a rebel. Marcus may be a rebel, or maybe a rebel on that time in Pompeii, and he wants to protest. He wanted to protest against the Caesar and his emperorship, in protest of his torture and in protest of the poverty of the common people. Okay, so they have concluded this thing. So now you can see this typical example has been taken by the AI scientist, okay, for describing this knowledge representation and logical reasoning part. they have taken this Marcus and Caesar example in AI. And now throughout today's session, we will just continue with this example that was actually Marcus, did actually Marcus try to assassinate Caesar or not? That we will prove after almost 2000 years. After almost 2000 years, we will try to prove that. Okay, so that's why I have just connected this Pompeii history with your today's lessons, which will give you a little bit enjoyment. Nothing else. Okay, let's get back to the notes, which will depict the example. Okay. All of you can see the notes? All of you can see the notes? Sir. Okay. So we have started with our first deduction. That is, Marcus was a man. Marcus was a man. Okay. Now, how we can represent it for each and every deduction? Okay, for each and every deduction, we are going to create the WFF, its equivalent WFF. As here you can see, Marcus was a man. This is the fact. Okay, now we are going to represent this fact in computer understandable language. That is WFF. Man within bracket Marcus. So here man is the, what is man? Tell me, what is man? Anyone?
Variable?
No, Marcus is basically object. Here Marcus was a man. In this statement, Marcus is the object, okay, and man is the function. Man is the function or predicate part. You can see, just like your 5-tuple components, for formulation of WFF: object, variables, functions, connectives, and quantifiers. So Marcus was a man. From this statement, first you have to find out these 5 tuples. Marcus is the object, okay? Was is the variable or relationship, and man is the function or predicate. So we can write this statement like this in WFF. In well-formed formula, we can write this statement as man within bracket Marcus, because man is the predicate or function and Marcus is the argument or object. Is it clear? Is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
The first formulation we have done, that is Marcus was a man. This is our high-level language statement, and we are going to formulate this statement in well-formed formula or WFF using these 5 tuples. So the first statement we have formulated, man within bracket Marcus. It means Marcus was a man. Man is the function or predicate, and Marcus is an object which is a reference of man. Marcus is a reference of man. Okay, so man within bracket Marcus. Then the next statement, Marcus was a Pompeian. How we can create this WFF for this statement? Marcus was a Pompeian. As you can see here also Marcus is object, was variable, and Pompeian is the function or predicate. So Pompeian within bracket Marcus. So Pompeian is the predicate or function, and Marcus is a reference of that function. So Pompeian within bracket Marcus. Okay. Now the third statement. Whenever you will not understand something, just raise your query. Okay. Just stop me and raise your query. Number 3. All Pompeians were Romans. all Pompeians were Romans. That is the third statement. Okay. So now, as you can see here, all this word all. What is this? All is a quantifier. All is a quantifier, and all is a universal quantifier. Can you remember? Because we have two types of quantifiers. One is universal quantifier, which is for all, and second one is existential quantifier, which is there exists. Okay, so here the statement is all Pompeians were Romans. So here all, the word all, this word all is a quantifier. And what type of quantifier it is? It is universal quantifier. Okay, and the next word Pompeian. Pompeian is the object. Okay, here Pompeian is the object, and all Pompeians were Romans. Okay, all Pompeians were Romans. Okay, now all is the quantifier and Pompeian. In the second statement, we have got it that Pompeian is the predicate. Okay, here we have used in this statement what we have found out, that is all Pompeians were Romans. All is a quantifier. Pompeians is again a function or predicate. We have already used it in the second statement. The third, then the where, then the word where. Where is the variable, and the last word is Romans. Romans is also a function or predicate. It's a common noun. There is a very easy way to find out which is object and which is function. Object or variables is always is always a proper name. Is always a proper noun, like Marcus, like Honda, or like Thursday, or like John, like this. These are always a proper noun. Okay, and functions or predicates are always a common noun, like Indian, like Roman, like car, like scooters, like this. Okay, so functions or predicates are always some common noun, and objects or variables are always some proper nouns. By this way, you can easily understand which one is a object or variable and which one is a predicate or function. Okay, is it clear to you all? Is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as you can see, in third example, third statement, all Pompeians were Romans. Okay, so all is a quantifier and universal quantifier. Okay, all is a quantifier and it is universal quantifier. Pompeian, it is a common noun. It is a common noun, Pompeian, and this Pompeian is, as it is a common noun, it is a function or predicate. Where is the variable, and Romans is also a proper a common noun, so Romans is also a predicate or function. Okay, so now we can represent this statement in this well-formed formula, that is, we have introduced one variable here. As you can see, we have introduced one variable here, which is x. Why we have introduced this variable x here? Because you can see in this statement, all Pompeians were Romans. There is no variable, there is no variables, or there is no objects rather. All Pompeians were Romans. In this statement, there is no objects. So we can't formulate a WFF without object. So we have introduced these variables here, which will be a reference to the function Pompeian and the function Roman. Okay, because without variable or without argument, without variable or without argument, we can't represent a function. Okay, but in this statement there are two functions or predicates. One is Pompeians and another is Romans. So to represent these two predicates or two functions, we need at least one variable. So we have introduced this variable to the WFF, which is x. So you can see here for all x, because here in the statement you have found out one quantifier, that is all, and this all is universal quantifier. So we have used the symbol of universal quantifier all, reverse capital A. For all x, x is the variable. We have introduced this variable x here. So for all x within third bracket, you can recall the last class or sometimes before I have discussed it, that is the use of brackets or parentheses. The use of brackets or parentheses in WFF. The use of brackets or parentheses in WFF. So we have used bracket over here, because whenever we will use a quantifier, we have to use brackets, because quantifiers will quantify a set of objects or a set of functions. So to make this set, we need this bracket or parenthesis. So as you can see here, for all x, then within third bracket, Pompeian, this is the function. Okay, Pompeian is the function. Pompeian within bracket x. As you can see here, x is the reference. X is the reference of Pompeian. That means x can be any reference of Pompeian. Pompeian is a function and x is the reference or argument of this function Pompeian. Okay. So within bracket Pompeian x, this is the symbol of implies of. Pompeian x implies of Roman x. So Pompeian x implies of Roman x. So as per bracket, what will be deducted first? The content within the bracket. So what has been written within the bracket? Pompeian x implies of Roman x. That means a reference x of Pompeian implies of a reference x of Roman. Okay. Now outside bracket for all x. That means now we are going to make it universal quantifier. Using universal quantifier, now we are going to make this implication universal. That means for all Pompeians. Within the bracket, first we have deducted the logic, that is Pompeian x for a particular reference of Pompeian x implies of Roman x for a particular reference of Roman x. It is true. Now we are using a universal quantifier for all. Now we are making it universal for all Pompeians. For all x, Pompeian x implies to Roman x. That means all Pompeians were Romans. Is it clear to you all? Please tell me. Is it clear to you all? Any problem is there? Please ask me.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, everyone, it is very important. Yes, everyone, if everyone have any question, please ask me. Okay, then I am going to the fourth statement. Caesar was a ruler. Caesar was a ruler. Okay, so it is very easy. Already you have experienced this kind of statements. Caesar was a ruler. So Caesar is the object, ruler is the predicate or function. So ruler within bracket Caesar, ruler within bracket Caesar, and as ruler is a predicate, it has been written like this. This is the syntax of writing WFF. That is, when you write any predicate, the first letter will be in uppercase. So the R of ruler is in uppercase. So ruler within bracket Caesar. Then the fifth statement, all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. All Romans, first try to understand the statement very carefully. Otherwise, you can't find out which is object and which is predicate and which one is quantifier. So try to understand, first try to understand the statement very carefully. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. This is the statement. So here all is again a quantifier. Romans is a predicate. Either loyal to, okay, either loyal to, this is also a function. Either loyal to, this is also a function. Caesar is an object, or hated, that is hate basically. Hate is another function. Hate is another function. Okay, and him means Caesar himself. So which is again an object. So in this statement, all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. What we have found out? All is a quantifier, universal quantifier. Romans is a predicate, either loyal to. Okay, Romans is a predicate, loyal to. Loyal to is a function. Caesar is an object. Hate is a function or predicate, and him means Caesar himself, which is again an object. So these are the tuples we have found out in this statement. Now using these tuples we will create the WFF. It is a bit complex, so try to understand it, and if there is any problem just stop me and ask me the query. Now we have started with, here we have used two types of brackets or parentheses. Okay, a second bracket and a first bracket. So according to that, we will calculate the WFF. So the first thing what we have to find out, all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So how we will formulate this thing? The first thing is that loyal to Caesar and hate Caesar. Loyal to Caesar or hate Caesar. These two things we have found out. These two core information we have found out from this statement. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So the first two information we have found out, one is loyal to Caesar and another is hated him. And these two information are vice versa. If loyal to Caesar or hated him, that means either loyal to Caesar is true or hated him is true. Okay, so first we will create this formula. Loyal to is the function, so we have written the function loyal to. We have written the predicate. It is a predicate because loyal to, either he or she will be loyal to or not. So either it will be true or it will be false. So loyal to and hate, both the functions are basically a predicate. So we have written this predicate loyal to, maintaining the syntax, that is L is in uppercase and to is in uppercase. So loyal to, this predicate has two arguments. These predicates has two arguments. Okay, loyal to these predicates has two arguments. One is Caesar and another is a Roman, a reference to the Roman. Roman is a predicate, so a reference to the Roman, because all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So who is loyal to Caesar? A Roman. Obviously a Roman is loyal to Caesar. So this loyal to predicate has two arguments. One is x, which is a reference to the function Roman, and Caesar himself, which is an object. So loyal to within bracket x, comma Caesar. That means x is loyal to Caesar. We have introduced this variable x here, and now loyal to function has two arguments. One is x, which is a reference of Roman, and Caesar himself, which is an object. So x is loyal to Caesar, or then this symbol or, because you can see here in this statement either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So we are first going to formulate this part of the statement. So either loyal to Caesar. This statement has been already formulated here within first bracket. Okay, that is loyal to, this is the predicate, and it has two arguments. One is x. We have introduced this variable x, which is a reference to the Romans, and comma Caesar, which is the object. So x loyal to Caesar. Then the second part, or hated him. So or, this is a connective. Or is a connective. So we have put or here. This is the symbol of or connective. Then this part. Then this part of the statement. Hated him. Hate is a predicate, because either you can hate someone or you cannot. So the result of this function hate can be either true or false. So hate is a predicate, and we have written it like this, that is h. H is in uppercase. That is the syntax of a predicate. So the predicate hate also has two arguments. One is x and another is Caesar. So x hated Caesar. X hated Caesar. So we have created already two WFF. One is x loyal to Caesar or x hated Caesar. So this part is completed, either loyal to Caesar or hated him. This part of the statement we have already converted into WFF, that is x is either loyal to Caesar or x hated him. This part has been already converted. Okay, so any problem up to this, please tell me. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, you can see x loyal to Caesar or x hated Caesar. This part is within a first bracket. This part of the statement is within a first bracket. Okay. Now this total first bracket part, that is x is loyal to Caesar or x hated him, this total part is in a first bracket, and this total part now implies of, here is the symbol, implies of this total first bracket part up to this. Sorry, this total first bracket part, that is x was loyal to Caesar or x hated Caesar. This total first bracket part implies of Roman y. we have introduced another reference variable y here, which is a reference to the predicate Roman, because in the statement we have found out another predicate that is Romans. Romans is a common noun, so Romans is a predicate. So we have found out in the statement another predicate Romans. So we have introduced, to describe this predicate Roman, we need some reference, we need some argument. So we have introduced another new reference variable to the predicate Roman, okay, which is y. Another new reference variable, which is y. This y is a reference to the predicate Romans, okay. So Romans y, that means y is a reference to the predicate Romans, implies of this total statement, that is X was loyal to Caesar or X hated Caesar, which implies to Romans. This is the meaning of this WFF. X was loyal to Caesar or X hated Caesar, which implies to Romans. That means this X who was either loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar is a Roman. This total statement within the third bracket, this total statement, now the meaning of this total statement within third bracket is X was loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar, who is a Roman. X was loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar, who is a Roman. Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? Yes, tell me, is it clear to all?
Sir, one doubt.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, why can't we use Roman X? And why are we introducing a new object here?
Because for the simple logic of function, you can't use the same variable. You cannot use the same variable in two different predicate. In two different predicate, you can't use the same variable. You have used X as a variable, as an unspecified reference variable, to this statement, loyal to or hate. Why you can use X in loyal to or hate? Because this has been connected. This has been connected by one connective, that is OR. X is the argument of either loyal to or hate. If X is the argument of loyal to, then it can't be the argument of hate. Or if X is the argument of hate, then it can't be the argument of loyalty, because the relationship is either or. Either X is loyal to Caesar or X hated Caesar. That's why we can use X in both of these predicate function, loyal to and hate. But this total statement within first bracket, it has been considered these two statements, either loyal to or hate, as these two predicate, loyal to or hated, has been connected with or connectives. That's why this total statement has been considered as a single statement. That is, either as a single deduction, rather to say, as a single deduction, either X was loyal to Caesar or X hated Caesar. That's why this two predicate has been connected by first bracket. in one parenthesis. It has been connected by first bracket. Okay. So now this total statement that is either loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar, this has been supported by this statement Roman Y. Roman is a different predicate. Roman is a different predicate function. So we have taken a new unspecified reference variable for this predicate Roman, and we have used a common unspecified reference variable X for loyal to and hate predicate function, because loyal to and hate, these two predicate function has been connected by OR connectives. That's why we have used a common unspecified reference variable X to both of them, loyal to and hate. But the Roman is a different predicate function. So we have taken a different new reference, unspecified reference variable for this predicate Roman. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this total statement, that is X was either loyal to Caesar or hated him, is supported by or implies of to this statement Roman Y. That means X is a Roman. That is X implies to Y, where Y is a reference of Roman. X implies to Y, where Y is a reference of the predicate function Roman. Okay, so it is indirectly we can say that X is a Roman. Okay, X is a Roman. So this total statement within third bracket, this total WFF, not statement, this total WFF within third bracket, what does it mean? That is X was loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar, where X implies to Y and Y is a reference to the Roman. So in simple language, that one Roman, single, not all. A Roman was either loyal to Caesar or hated him. Okay. Now, in the statement, we have a quantifier, that is all Romans. Up to now, till now, we have created WFF for a single Roman. We have created this WFF for a single Roman person, not for all. But in statement, the quantifier they have used, that is for all Romans. Okay, that is the universal quantifier. So this total statement will be quantified by for all X. For all X, we have used the universal quantifier for all here, and it is this statement. It means that this statement, that is X was loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar, where X is a Roman, this statement is supported by for all Romans. This statement is true for all Romans. That is the use of quantifier. For all X within third bracket, X was loyal to Caesar or hated Caesar implies of Romans Y. This is the total WFF for this statement. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. Is it clear to all of you? Tell me. No one is giving no answer. Everyone is keep mum. I do not know if anyone have any query or not. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if anyone have any problem, please ask me. I will again repeat it. If anyone have any query within this WFF, because it will obviously it will come in your it will be in your question will come from this WFF in your semester question paper. So if anyone have any question, anyone have any query, please ask me. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. We have created this WFF for, we have converted this statement to this WFF, that is for all x within third bracket Roman y implies of loyal to x comma Caesar or hate x comma Caesar. This is the WFF. You have to create it. Okay, this type of statements will be given and you have to create this type of WFF. So if anyone have any query, please ask me. Okay, now I am going to the next statement, that is everyone is loyal to someone. Now Nilanjan, I am telling you, you have asked why has been used. Why has been used for the predicate Roman. I have given you the answer. Now you will more clearly get the answer from this statement. Everyone is loyal to someone. Everyone is loyal to someone. Here also you can see we have taken two variables, two unspecified variables, because as per this statement, what are the objects? What are the objects? Object is everyone and someone. Everyone and someone. This is the objects, okay? And loyal to, this is the function. This is the function or this is the predicate, okay? So how we can create this WFF? Loyal to x comma y. That means x is a reference of everyone and y is the reference of someone. Okay, so we can create this WFF using two steps. One step is jumped here. First of all, it should be like this: for all x, everyone within bracket x. Then for all y, everyone, then for all y, someone within bracket y. Is it visible to all of you? The notes is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So